So, it's been quite a while since I've done any kind of official news video, but Hasbro has finally revealed their 2020 Transformers Hall of Fame fan vote. I honestly thought that this year's vote was going to be cancelled, like so many other things in 2020. So Hasbro has given us two questions, and I'm actually going to address these in reverse order because I think the first question is way more interesting and I just kind of want to get the second one out of the way. So the second question is pretty boring. Which figure from the 2020 Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise toy line should be inducted into the Transformers Hall of Fame? Or simply put, which is your favorite Earthrise toy? Now, I totally forgot that they actually induct toys into the Transformers Hall of Fame. But I checked, and apparently they've been doing it as far back as 2017. It's funny that the year after BotCon ended, they started inducting toys into the Hall of Fame. Funny how that worked out. So our choices are Hoist, Wheeljack, Cliffjumper, Ironworks, RC, Airwave, Alicon, Smokescreen, Trailbreaker, Fast Track, Sunstreaker, Runamuck, Starscream, Grapple, Snapdragon, Quintesson Judge, Megatron, Optimus Prime, Double Dealer, Skylynx, and Scorponok. Now, I haven't bought very many Earthrise figures. In fact, technically, I don't think I've bought any. I did buy the Generation Selects Exhaust and Grease Pit, but they aren't on the list. Some of these I probably would pick up if I see them. If you've been watching any of my recent TF Hunt videos, you know I'm searching for Snapdragon. And I did recently order Ape-Face off of Toys R Us's website. Yeah, I know it doesn't make for interesting content when you buy it online, but he was finally in stock and they had him on sale. So I jumped on it, and he should be on his way. Now I just need his buddy Snapdragon. But like I said, I haven't been able to find him. Double Dealer I'd probably pick up if I saw him at stores, and I'd definitely get Skylynx and Scorponok if they were on sale. But yeah, I still haven't seen any of them anywhere yet. So if I had to pick one of the ones on this list based on the mold that I own, out of the two, I'd have to go with the Wheeljack / Exhaust mold, simply because I like his transformation and he's a fun little figure. But let's face it, Scorponok is going to win anyways. The Titan class figures usually win every year, and honestly, if I had him, I'd probably vote for him too. He looks pretty neat, but again, nowhere to be found in my area. Now on to the first and more interesting question. Which Transformers Prime animated series robot character should be inducted into the Transformers Hall of Fame? Or who's your favorite Transformers Prime character? Same thing. Once again, I will read out our choices. They are Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Ratchet, RC, Bulkhead, Wheeljack, Smokescreen, Ultra Magnus, Alpha Trion, Cliffjumper, Tailgate, Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Knockout, Shockwave, Arachnid, Breakdown, Dreadwing, Skyquake, Makeshift, Viacon, Hardshell, Bombshock, Predaking, Darksteel, Skylynx, Unicron, Nemesis Prime. They actually spelled Nemesis wrong here, and he's not even really a Transformer. He's Silas in Optimus Prime cosplay. But anyways, on with the rest of the list. We have Terracons and Scraplets. Really? Terracons and Scraplets made the list? It's a little weird that they excluded human characters. I guess if they didn't, then they'd know that everyone would just vote for Miko anyways. Also, technically, isn't Predaking already in the Transformers Hall of Fame? Yes, it's the G1 version, but usually when Hasbro inducts a Transformer into the Hall of Fame, it's all the characters with that name. That's why the fans had to fight to specifically get Beast Wars Megatron into the Hall of Fame, even though G1 Megatron and all other Megatrons in general were already in the Hall of Fame, because Beast Wars Megatron deserves his own place in it to himself. So I guess technically the same goes for Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, Ratchet, RC, Soundwave, Starscream, Shockwave, Ultra Magnus, and Wheeljack. Yeah, I definitely remember Hasbro including Prime Wheeljack in their Wheeljack induction video. I think it was where they first revealed the character. But I guess this vote is specifically for the Prime versions of these characters. So honestly, I was going to vote for RC just because I like Prime RC, but she's kind of already in the Hall of Fame along with all the other versions of RC. So let's eliminate all the ones I previously mentioned and think of the rest. What does that leave us with? Bulkhead? Really, Bulkhead isn't in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I can't decide. If this was for all Bulkheads, then I'd say yes. He's definitely a top choice because animated Bulkhead was such a standout character that he's the whole reason that Prime Bulkhead exists, and why we don't think of that green non-Springer helicopter guy from Energon when we hear the name Bulkhead. But Prime Bulkhead by himself, I don't know. Who else do we got? Smokescreen? Nope, sorry dude. Alpha Trion. Alpha Trion wasn't even a CG model, was he? Wasn't he just like a flat piece of art in a vision or something? No, again, if this was all Alpha Trions, yes, but Prime Alpha Trion, no. Cliffjumper? Can you smell what the rock is cooking? No, neither can I. Now, if this was back in the day where we might get Dwayne Johnson at a BotCon to accept his trophy, then heck yeah, I'd vote for Cliffjumper. But the way things are now, no thanks. The only thing that Prime Cliffjumper set the standard for was that Cliffjumper dies early. Tailgate? Who is Tailgate? Some Cliffjumper repaint? No, next. Knockout. Oh boy, Knockout. This is the one that I see everybody voting for, and honestly is probably the one who should win. He was definitely the most standout original character in Prime. And we do need to see more of Knockout in more Transformers fiction. But let's see who else we have on our list. Arachnid kind of falls in that gray area of, is she technically already half in it because she's based on Black Arachnia? She was pretty cool, but she didn't really do much in this series. Breakdown? Sorry Breakdown, but hey, maybe you can be Knockout's +1. Dreadwing? I remember liking Dreadwing, but it's been a while since I watched Prime. I seem to remember he turned against Megatron and was quickly killed. So, no for now. I'd have to rewatch Prime in order to give him a fair look. Same goes for his brother Skyquake. I remember he was basically in one episode and then got turned into a zombie. No. Makeshift, cool name, great idea for a character, but basically died in his first appearance. No. Viacon? Again, the Prime Viacons are great. They certainly added to what a Viacon can be. And I think they might have even kind of replaced the old Beast Machines Viacons to some degree, as we saw in later series like Cyberverse, where they had their own Viacons that were more similar to the Prime ones than the Beast Machines ones. Even though I don't think they were officially called Viacons. But do they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? No. Hardshell and Bombshock? No, are you kidding me? They're just a couple random Insecticons. If they get nominated, then so should Steve the Viacon, or whatever his name was. Darksteel and Skylynx? No, again, they're second fiddle to Predaking, who's a million times more deserving than the two of them put together. Unicron. Again, if this was all Unicrons, yes. And I'm seriously shocked that Unicron is not already in the Hall of Fame. But Prime Unicron? No, he sucked. He was just a mountain of dirt. Not the world-devouring cosmic threat that G1 and Armada Unicron are. That's a pass for me. Maybe next time if it's just Unicron in general, but I can totally see Hasbro fudging the votes to make Unicron the winner so that they have something to hype up their big HasLab Unicron, even though it's totally not the same character. Nemesis Prime, or Nemesis Prime as they've spelled it here. Again, Nemesis Prime in general should be in the Hall of Fame, especially if you lump RID Scourge in with him, as he was the original Nemesis Prime before Nemesis Primes were cool. But no. And like I said earlier, Prime Nemesis Prime isn't a real Transformer. If they're not going to count other humans, then Silas and Optimus Prime cosplay doesn't count either. And finally, the Terracrons, aka zombies, and Scraplets. No, easy no for both of them. And that's all of them. So looking back through the list and my logic behind each of them, yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with the majority of fans and say that Knockout is my choice for this Hall of Fame nomination. Again, there are so many characters where if this wasn't only the Prime versions we're voting for, then yes, I would pick them over Knockout. Characters like Bulkhead, Alpha Trion, Unicron, and Nemesis Prime should definitely be in the Transformers Hall of Fame, but unfortunately, their Prime versions alone do not deserve it on their own. So yeah, Knockout gets my vote. What about you? Who would you pick for each of these Transformers Hall of Fame choices? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe and do all that other fun stuff. And join me next time for... Oh wait, I almost forgot. This also begs the question, what about next year? Will one of the questions next year be about which Kingdom figure should be inducted into the Hall of Fame? From what I've seen so far, I think Black Arachnia would be my choice. She's nearly as perfect as a Black Arachnia figure can be. She's almost as good as the Masterpiece toy, but at a deluxe price point. The only thing she's lacking is the metallic paint, which makes me wish that Takara still did their own versions, because I'm sure they'd really make this figure pop. Also, if Knockout is named Prime's fan choice character, does that mean we'll get a new Knockout figure next year somewhere? It would be kind of odd to have a Knockout in Kingdom, which is a mix of Beast Wars and G1 characters. We do have that Prime Anniversary reissue of Breakdown and Jet Viacon coming. Do you think they'd just reissue his original Prime toy in a fancy Fan's Choice box? Or since Kingdom is the next line, maybe they'll reissue the Beast Hunter's Crockout figure instead. It's kind of a perfect fit, as it's a mix of Beast and Vehicle modes. Or there's also the rumored Prime RC figure coming out in the RED line. Maybe that's where we'll get our new Knockout figure, but he'll essentially be an Action Master and can't transform. Or maybe Hasbro will be really scummy and they'll make Knockout the Build-A-Figure because they know the fans want him, forcing fans to buy the entire wave of RED figures just to get Knockout. Well, like I was saying earlier, let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time for more Transformers news.